In this speech, I'll be talking about the game of basketball, the rules, how it's played, the coaches, referees, all the information you need to know of how to play basketball. Basketball is like no other sport. This sport requires hard work, hard conditioning, always constantly moving your feet, and the ability to move. Basketball requires many rules, teamwork, and lots of dedication. How the game works is you have a total of 10 people always on the court at all times. Also, sometimes it's known as 5-on-5, also sometimes 3-on-3. The main goal of the game is to get the ball in the hoop on your side of the court. Once you get on the side of your court, you receive points. From varying where you may shoot from, scores may go up or down. On the court, you can shoot from about anywhere. Depending where you shoot from, the basket counts from 2 or 3 points. Most sports, you can pick up the ball. Well, unfortunately, in basketball, you can't. In basketball, once you stop dribbling, the other team will automatically get the ball. If you get caught with a penalty, you'll be caught as double dribbling. If you decide, when I refer to defense, it is the opposite team on the offense, which offense means it's the other team with the ball at all times. Defense tries to stop the others from scoring. If they score, they automatically receive that points. All sports, you are required to have both a coach and a referee at all times as well. If you do not have one, you need to find someone who knows the rules or someone who has a coaching license. Referees get to refer to the game, make the calls at all times, even if you're in a crowd and they disagree with the call, the ref automatically gets to make that call. Even with parents, coaches, teams, whoever it may be, the ref has that ability to kick you out of the game, make you sit down, whatever his call may be. It's his own call. Also, every team has to have a coach. A team cannot play a game without a coach. If you get caught without a coach, you will automatically have to forfeit the game. The point of the coach is to make your team better, how to make yourself better, how to make your team improve as well. It's mostly about the game and working together and becoming one. Basketball is not just a single person sport, it's a team sport. According to the Breakthrough Basketball Coaching Youth, one of the main rules in basketball is the coach is to make sure your kids are having fun. If your kids are not having fun, you are doing it wrong. The coaches need to teach the kids a habit of the game, the rules of the game. Once they know these habits, they'll know these habits for the rest of their lives, so they can teach their siblings, family, whoever it may be. I believe coaches are like teachers. You want them to teach you the right information. You don't want them to teach you false information that you go off telling some other kid false information that they're going to start doing, and it just goes all wrong. You want to teach them the right basics so they know that forever, and they can tread that on, bring it on. Some familiar drills that I learned when I was young was the layup, which is basically just dribbling down the court with, for example, your right hand going on the right side of the basketball hoop with one hand, bringing it in the air with your right leg in the air, tossing it in the hoop. Another game I consider is knockout, which is just a fun free throw game, practicing your free throws. You constantly, on the free throw line, which is the middle line in between the 3-point line, and you get to shoot from there. If you make your basket, you get to stay in the game. If you miss your basket and the person behind you makes your basket before you, then you're automatically out. And you keep going until someone finally gets that. Another drill is the 3-man weave, which basically you have 3 people constantly running down the court. And the main objective is this game, or this drill, is you always need to go behind your pass. Once you constantly get that pass, you constantly keep on running until you end on the far side of the hoop. Once that last person has that ability to make that final shot into the hoop, they just simply do a layup. You can also do a bunch of simple drills like defense, offense, footwork, simple just drills. Just have fun with it. It helps you. Not all the rules in the game of basketball there are simple rules, but also on the court there's a lot more rules. For example, on my chart, every person plays a specific position. For example, you have this is where the game starts, is the circle line. You have most likely your two starters, mostly your tallest players actually. And the referee will throw the ball in the air, and they jump as high as they can to get the ball in the air and onto their team. And then you have your center line, which offense is not allowed to press or go forward that line when passing the ball in. You also have your free throw line, your 3-point line. 3-point line, anywhere between that line, you cannot pass, or you can shoot the ball, and anywhere, if you make that, you automatically get 3 points. Anywhere in between that line is 2 points. And foul line is right in between there, in between that little circle. And those go off fouls. A foul is any kind of penalty that requires pushing, shoving, any kind of body movement. Once you get that, the ref automatically gets to make that call. If you can get either from a 1-shot, 2-shot, or a 1-and-1, which basically 1-and-1 is if you make your first shot, then you automatically get a second shot as well. Today, all over the world, basketball is being played. It was currently in the Olympics this year as well. According to the NBA history, basketball started in 1946, which was an organization called the BBA. It finally became known as the NBA in 1949. It was finally finalized. Also, according to the history of basketball in Canada, a guy named Dr. James Naismith, he actually invented the game of basketball. It took place in Springfield, Massachusetts. That's where it was actually invented, in a small training place in a YMCA school, actually. Currently, many teams play in the NBA. NBA is still being played today. One of the most popular teams, I believe, in the NBA today is Chicago Bulls, which I think is due to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan plays for the Bulls. He got the Chicago Bulls into the championship 6 times, which is a lot. And he also got the most valuable player 5 times, according to the bio. A few years later, he took a break from basketball, and he actually decided to star in the movie Space Jam, which is about a bunch of little aliens trying to grow into these big monsters, thinking they can beat Michael Jordan and these funny little Looney Tunes by themselves. And they get all big, and Michael Jordan plays them at a giant basketball tournament, and they end up saving Looney Tunes due to Michael Jordan. And shortly later, Michael Jordan did take up golf. He still plays both golf and basketball till this day. And still in the NBA, one of my favorite teams since I was young was the Boston Celtics. I am a big fan of Rajon Rondo and Ray Allen. I've watched them since I was a little kid, or since they've been playing. And currently, for a while, Ray Allen got transferred to the Miami Heat, but that's okay. ESPN states he transferred over to Miami Heat, which is okay because I still like him. According to the National Olympic Committee, they state the first basketball game ever to be played in the Olympics was in Berlin in 1936, just for the men. 1904, it was still not considered a sport. It was considered a demolition sport, which is basically a bunch of intramurals they play for fun. It's not recorded, or they don't get rated on how they get played. But by the time of 1976 in Montreal, the women could finally participate in the Olympics. So they practiced constantly, and they finally got into the Olympics. This year, the Olympics actually took place in Rio. The men beat Serbia, taking gold for their 3rd medal in a row, actually, from the FIBA, according to the FIBA. I think basketball can be played at any age. It can be through hard work, dedication. All it takes is a simple practice, a little every day. Doesn't matter how old you are. Just constantly work at it. Teamwork. It's just, you got to work at it.